muffle your ruffles. You've gotten into the danger zone now, suckers. You've seen the real deal. Now you're gonna get the whole deal. Are you ready? I don't think so. Because if you were, you'd bring your diapers, bitches. Because you're about to wet yourself on this hot flavor. My name is Hot Sauce Spicer. And you have just stepped into the Ranters area. And you are not ready for the Jonesin' in your bonesin'.
Due to some technical difficulties, our first intro recording got cut a little short, so we decided to do a second take of it all over again, but it's hilarious anyway, so please enjoy.
Hey, we're coming in from Spring Valley, California, and coming off a hot win. Hot Sauce Spicer. What do you have to say today to the crowd?
Well, I sure hope they brought that cayenne pepper, 'cause it's gonna be a spicy one tonight. As it already was, 'cause I really brought the habanero kick this time. Woo!
All right, brought the habanero kick. What are you going to bring tonight to your handicap match against Pepper Johnson and Salty Sweet?
They can bring all the spices and the peppers that they want to do, because nothing can stop the hot sauce train.
The hot sauce train heading off the tracks. Back to you. I felt like I was throwing some spice in there.
Welcome to the Ranter Arena.
Pepper Johnson and Salty Sweet. All right. I don't know.
This is episode 7 of the Ranter.
Nothing but gold from here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hot Sauce Spicer.
Nothing but
if you want a
uphill,
match,
guys.
I'll bring you around this garage, strap you around that fucking Bowflex, string you up high like fucking Chris Benoit, and I'll give you a ride. I'm motherfucking Joshua Stone Shepherd.
He didn't throw it how he killed himself.
Hey.
String him up like Chris Benoit. 7 years too soon.
Oh my God. All I gotta say. Chris Benoit's kid didn't tap out. I'm just gonna say that.
And if you can't tell by that 1990s cut fucking promo, this is gonna be a wrestling episode.
Oh yeah, dig it.
Macho man.
All right, well,
Damn.
joining you today are the managers, Newman Taylor,
Seth Nelson.
Hot sauce spicer.
Andrew Lucero.
Joshua Stone Shepherd, as you motherfuckers know.
All right, and someone kick this off. I'm like dead in the water.
Well, we are here, hot and bothered and ready to tango, because you've stepped into lucky number 7's episode, Wrestling Specialized.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And recently, the WWE Network has launched to some yays and nays, but I'd like to say mostly yays, as its video-on-demand service has been what was expected. I mean, the live could use some work, but, it's with anything just come out, they have some issues to deal with, but I find it very promising.
Okay, wait, one sec, sorry. For those who don't know, explain what the WWE Network is.
WWE Network is the wrestling Netflix that wrestling fans have always wanted, along with live programming like the most recent NXT pay-per-view of upcoming superstars. And when you buy it, you also get WrestleMania 30. So
And everything else after that.
yeah, and every pay-per-view before that.
So what does that cost per month? And
Same as Netflix, $9.99.
$9.99. So
Nope.
You have to dedicate
Definitely
6
$7.99.
months to it.
You cannot unsubscribe
For
for 6
streaming,
months.
yeah.
okay,
This is true.
so it's a lock-in for 6 months, $10 a month, but
Yes.
you get WrestleMania. Do you get other pay-per-views?
When you buy in this, or it has been, or it hasn't been canceled yet, but if you subscribe now, you get WrestleMania 30 included. So instead of paying probably $50 or $60 for that alone, You
Okay.
just get the network, and that's included.
And you pay that monthly.
Yes.
But that's the only pay-per-view you get with the deal? Do you still have to buy the
Well, you
You
get
get all
that
previous
immediately,
content.
but you get the entire backlog of the 2013 pay-per-views
Okay.
and all.
But you have to pay for further pay-per-views.
No.
No. Do
You
they
get every pay-per-view
All the-
starting
all
with
the-
WrestleMania for the whole year.
Oh,
Very nice.
okay. That's what I wanted to know. That's actually a really good deal. $10
Well,
a month
and you
for
also
pay-per-views?
get all WWE, WWF backlog pay-per-views and WCW and ECW.
Well, in my opinion, for the fact that like if people like to watch the pay-per-views, $10 a month for pay-per-views?
For
Is that what you're-
all the
is that-
pay-per-views?
Is that what it is? Or is it just WrestleMania?
No,
All right,
all
it's
of
not just
It's
pay-per-views. You
everything
also
wrestling,
get
isn't it?
Raw and SmackDown
Okay.
replays and pre-shows and after shows because it would be kind of a shot in their own foot if they simply took away all of the deals they had with their networks that were already airing their programs.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Quick question about wrestling in general. When you watch these things, you don't have to watch commercials at all, do you?
Nope.
So, do they not record doing commercials, or
Okay. When they do the Raw stuff, they don't do Raw like on the network. They just show the replay. But like obviously, there's no commercials in pay-per-views.
yeah?
But-
Well, I mean, like
As far as like
televised
the
things.
original replays though, all the commercials are all cut out and shit. So it's
Yeah.
all one.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
like,
when
when
a
they're-
match happens, the match is progressing, but like when it goes to like it's not like it's pure like 100% like coming at you. You know what I mean? It is scripted, but they're not gonna have like when it goes to a commercial, the match isn't gonna stop.
No, I know that.
Like they don't just like take a break.
What I mean
take a
is, since
sip,
you're
you know?
paying for this and there's no commercials, do they just make it like one
all
solid
right,
video?
you
or
don't
they
you
cut
don't
where
get it
commercials were
uncut.
going to be?
They keep it the way that it was aired. Like
Televised, yeah.
during the break, this is what you missed. But the way that they work it in the matches, like, all right, we're about to cut to a break, like hold him or like just push him out of the ring and just kind of slowly get up and get back into the action. And they have a whole system to where people watching won't actually miss out on the key moments.
Yeah, that's why I kind of miss the olden days where they didn't cut during the match because it was like more of like a WCW kind of thing. Like,
But it's kind of nice though because it's like sometimes it can be really fucking boring and like that little 2-minute break is actually kind of like
Yeah.
refreshing.
yeah,
They use that time to like put him in some kind of rear naked choke or something where they're both actually just trying to catch their breath for the next fucking
And a lot of it
moonsault.
is usually like when they go to commercials, like when someone gets thrown out of the ring, and then they're just like,
And they're both kind of
Yeah.
like they plan it out to where like, okay, we're gonna do commercial break here, so sit there and fuck around outside, like lay on the ground, like act
Yeah.
like you're hurt, and then they
Yeah.
come. They show like one special move they do, like some guy jumping off the ring or something.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
like, this is what you
Yeah.
missed. Like, oh, cool.
Which you can watch on the little network thing.
Yeah,
like,
or
yeah.
even the app that they
Mhm.
still advertise.
Yeah, they pushed the hell out of that.
Yeah. So along with all of that, and they also are bringing in original content, which is somewhat interesting and other times kind of a cop out just to have original content. Like they're actually bringing in a sort of VH1 type reality show house gathering of old legends like Rowdy Piper and Mean Gene Okerlund.
Piper's
Oh
Pit.
my God.
And they're all going to, as I've seen in the trailer, they're all going to be in this one house. And just, if you've seen a VH1 reality show, it's going to be like that. Like, they do these, like, weekly challenges, and they do, like, menial tasks, and of course, they just have to start bickering with each other. It seems like a good time.
All right. So WWE Network, very positive thing. Negative
If
thing.
you're-
Well, there's the amount of content that you're getting is remarkable. Like I really didn't think that they would give you the entire backlog from day one. I thought they would be kind of cheesy about it, but
I was just about to ask that. Like, how
Yeah.
far back did they go?
they literally went from WrestleMania 29, all the pay-per-views, to WrestleMania 1. And
there's shit in between.
yeah,
Wow.
and along with, since they own WCW rights and ECW,
They
they
can
have
show
all
all
of theirs too, which is
Even
just
shit
mind-blowing.
that they was never even like old WCWs from like 1983. They weren't even like pay-per-views. They were just like those random wrestling events that would
Right.
be on TV.
So I could go back and watch Rodzilla wrestle again?
Yep.
You can as long as
at
it's
Hog Wild.
As long as it's in a pay-per-view.
So, are they ever planning on incorporating the regular broadcasted like shows during the week, like Raw, SmackDown?
You mean like as they
Nitro?
air?
Are they like the backlog? Are they ever gonna put that backlog
like a Nitro
Yeah, like I
backlog?
want to see like maybe
That's-
I want to watch Nitros or maybe I want to watch the old Raw shows.
I
or
suppose it's under
maybe the old
speculation,
SmackDowns.
like whether they would put each week up, but so far I don't think they have anything WCW besides
Yeah.
pay-per-views.
No, I mean, but in the future, do they plan? Do you know if they plan on putting the
I don't know if they're-
backlog of Raw episodes, SmackDown episodes, Nitro episodes? Like, do they ever plan on putting these on the network, or are we just gonna see the pay-per-views and just the replays for the Raw?
I'd like to think that it's in the making, or maybe once they finally get, the subscriber numbers that they're looking for, and the interest and the movement in, broadcasting everything properly, then I'd like to see it's a good possibility, yeah.
Because as far as Raws go, they're slowly putting in old ones. Like when it came out, I think they had like 2012 and 2013.
Yeah, they had some main replays like of the old school and the
But they had
1000th episode.
they had all Raw episodes for years 13 or 12 and 13,
Oh, really?
and then they have 2 episodes from 1998, and then they have like 7 from 1993. And when they are adding them because when it first launched, they only had 1 episode from 1998, and that was the Mike Tyson thing. When
Mike Tyson was in wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was
feuded with Stone Cold.
a special guest enforcer.
yeah,
Yeah, he started.
and they
it
just
as a-
added another one. So I think they're slowly adding. I think because I know they said they have to go through and like edit a bunch of shit.
Oh
So-
yeah. Like either with, certain things like in the mention of editing. I mean, with the case of WWF or certain wrestlers who they don't want to mention anymore, Mr. Chris Benoit.
Well, no, they still put him on there, but like, they had a thing where they said every time he fights, like they had like a message before it starts that says like something about how
like
this affects people's personality type.
like
thing.
the
happened
messages before like a movie commentary, like they don't represent the company or whatever.
Yeah.
Because in his pay-per-views they're talking him up and saying how cool he is or how capable, and the interesting thing is in the description of every one of his pay-per-views where he's in like a main event or something, they always like sidestep the situation. Like for WrestleMania 20, one of the main event, one of the best matches ever, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit. The description is Triple H and Shawn Michaels face off in a triple threat for the title. Like
They just don't mention Chris Benoit.
yeah, in every single one, like I really looked through, and every single time they did not mention his name. Like
Yeah.
they never
It's
do
like
anything.
it's like almost taboo to mention his name for WWE.
Well, sure, but they're keeping it at a pure scientific level of they recognize that he was there and he did stuff, but there's no point to glamorize him as a person
Yeah.
because he went out on such
He went
terrible
out
terms.
On it, yeah, very, very terrible terms.
Yeah.
Regardless of the joke I made earlier tonight.
Like, while
Yeah.
he was still under contract.
All jokes aside, very
however,
terrible thing.
I did Chris Benoit's a weird topic. I loved Chris Benoit, but
I still think they should give him the fucking courtesy of like the shit that he's done. Like he's been around for a long time.
Well,
like,
it's a case of maybe like a Michael Jackson or something. Like their music, or their work is good, but the person is a little messed up. I mean,
they don't knock Stone
but
Cold
you-
for
but-
beating
but
fucking his wife
honestly-
and shit like that.
oh, they never even mention it once.
yeah,
No,
but they're
yeah.
like Stone Cold, Stone Cold,
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
But the thing about Chris Benoit, like when they did the autopsy, he was 40 or so,
And his brain was, like,
they,
75?
they said his brain was 80. Like,
Yeah, dude,
and,
because
and
it's
severe
so much
substance
damage.
yeah, and they look at
damage.
his, they look at other like NFL players who have died with that kind of damage. None as bad as Chris Benoit's brain. Like that, it factors in. Not to say that he's a victim, but there was truly something wrong.
Well, he put his body on the line all the time, like with those falling headbutts constantly, and with all the substance abuse that he did throughout his career.
Oh, he's
They
certainly
did
he's
say,
certainly
like,
roided.
They say before he like died, like he like for like I think like the past year they said that he was having like severe anger issues. And
Oh,
shit. He was
and
just, like, snapping.
the week of his incident, He was sending like the weirdest texts, and people were actually looking into there being possibly a third party in the mix that could have,
Influenced him?
yeah, well, simply had some sort of interference in the entire situation to where it could have been some sort of deeper, I mean, on the level of like Illuminati type, someone must have done this, couldn't have been him, but I mean, it's pretty, cut and
I
dry.
think of that video that you posted earlier. I think the third party is Vince McMahon, just because of that.
The greater
quote.
power dude?
It's the, no.
It's like-
He did the speech. I mean, I only off the top of my head remember that last piece of pure brilliance, just getting the most heat from the fans, and you just life sucks, and then you die. You can't get more heel gold than that.
No, I think, as far as heels are concerned, Vince is a really good heel.
Vince is one of the best.
Probably the
heels.
best heel.
But I mean, specifically recently, with the whole owners and CEOs and all this, like they really try and do that whole bounce around, like, well, I'm the boss, so I say this, and they're like, well, I don't like that because I'm a fan and that's mean. But then they're like, well, I'm a boss and I say this. They're like, well, that's good because you're saying no to the bad guy. Like,
Bad guy!
but they're not
Lasers!
like they're not stabilizing themselves as either being the mean boss or the cool boss who sometimes comes in when the bad guy has too much free range and they put him in line, and that's just on a whole other topic of the way the creative writing has been recently.
I think one of his best heel moments, Vince, was when he revealed himself as the greater power.
It was me, Austin. It was me
me
all along.
I tricked you all! I fooled you all! I tricked my own family!
Yeah, but McMahon was part of the ministry for a second. Yeah.
I tricked my own family!
I mean, back then that was like the best thing that you could have done. Is like this rebel outlaw, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who drinks beer and kicks ass, is fighting his boss when everyone's like, "Yeah, I wish I could do that. Fuck my boss.
Yeah.
That guy's a dick. I wish I could Stone Cold Stunner him to hell." And then he fucking does it and drowns him
That's
in.
the best saying. Doing something to somebody to hell.
But specifically,
I wanna
Stone
take
Cold
a guy
Stunner
to
to
dinner.
hell.
To hell.
And then he brings out a beer truck and drowns him in a puddle of beer as Vince McMahon is swimming in it.
Yeah, he swims.
It's just a gold mine.
Oh, don't
that
forget
is-
The Rock fucking flopping around like a dead fish in the fucking
There's nothing wrong with that era. I mean, there are a few things, sure, but when you have the gold mine of characters,
The way they sold that stuff, man, like,
Yeah.
like it doesn't
They-
get any better.
my issue is that like on a level of like interest and a character's willingness to really be the character, like I see it sometimes nowadays, and I just don't see the dedication to, even if the character's ridiculous, like my name's Flippity Floppo Babingo, but in the 90s they would be so behind it, they'd have their catchphrases and their goofy move, even if it was just like, it's a leg drop, I'd have called it the Flippity Flop.
A whole persona instead of just a name.
Well, it's like,
Yeah,
going
I
back
mean-
to the 90s, like, the worst character they have is fucking that Fandango guy. Like,
Yeah,
it's the worst character ever. I'm like, I dance. I'm like, that's fucking so gay. Like,
yeah, like he comes out and he has these...
Disco
these-
Inferno is way tighter than fucking Fandango.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, you see the Disco Inferno and you see Fandango, and the depth of character and interest to their said character, like, how deep can you go to, I'm Fandango, I'm a dancer with a hot female dancer. Okay,
She's
I'm
not
doing
even
this.
hot. She's just like obnoxious.
She's alright. You know what? Whatever. And he does a leg drop, and that's it. And then you have fucking Disco Inferno. That's not even a name. That's a song.
That's a plethora.
There's a whole mess of not should be a name. That's like a title. WCW.
That's why it
WCW
works
was
better
behind
than
that.
Fall.
That's why it works better. Yeah, it's catchy. You remember it. It's already using these key words. You're like, the disco is on fire?
Dude, the WCW was all about that kind of marketing. Like, look at when
Exactly.
Stone Cold entered the WCW. They said he was from fucking Hollywood, California because he had long blonde hair.
Yo,
It was Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
The Hollywood blonde,
Hunter
the
Hearst
fucking
Helmsley
Brian
was in
Pillman.
WCW too, when he had like curly.
Oh, yeah.
he was all prissy and shit.
Yeah.
Well, like he had that in the WWF too, but like his hair was all like fanned out and feathered and stuff like that. He looked completely different.
Like, I can't remember his name right now. And it saddens me to see these types of people who are given something so ridiculous, and if it were in a different time, they would put their heart and soul into it instead of half-assing it just for a paycheck. And it's like, are you there for the money, or because you actually want to be a pro wrestler?
Yeah.
And then there's the whole other thing of being a quote-unquote pro wrestler or a superstar.
Oh,
like,
okay.
people don't even want to use that word like it's taboo.
It's this like I was actually gonna mention this since we're on the wrestling topic. Batista came back recently,
Part-timers.
and his ovation.
He wins the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
years.
This guy comes back, wins the Royal Rumble, and like when he won the Royal Rumble, I knew like there's no way he's gonna be face. There's no way he's gonna be face. Because I was like, there's no reason he should have it.
Like he was actually kind of supposed to come back as a face, but
No. The thing is, they're still trying to market him as a face. That's why there's some
Did
reason.
you see what happened on SmackDown tonight with Batista? What he said?
I didn't.
He
Batista
basically
gets
said
real.
like, I didn't come back for you guys. I came back for me. He's essentially made his turn.
Well,
No,
basically,
Well,
means
no,
that means he is.
Did you know he wrestled tonight? He wrestled Ziggler.
And you beat him?
Ziggler, yeah. He beat him. But Ziggler came out. He was like, I'll beat anybody back there. These guys aren't wrestlers. You got these like 195-pound, 5'10" guys. And they started yesing. He's like, no, it's no. And he's like, getting all fucking mad. and shit. Oh, fucking Batista, dude.
but honestly, like
Batista said that? Oh, okay.
Batista kind of deserved the run that Batista's getting now because let's be honest, like when John Cena beat Batista at WrestleMania, that was fucking bullshit.
Oh, it was total.
Like,
no,
that was-
no. I watched that the pay-per-view where Batista gets handed the title shot and he beats him, as if there were money in the bank. And to be noted, John Cena did not have that title before the pay-per-view. So to get it straight, John Cena fights, wins the title, loses it immediately, and the next pay-per-view, he fucking wins it again. So all the little 8-year-old boys and girls can just, can't see me.
John Cena ruined Batista.
John Cena ruined professional wrestling.
Yes. No, and it's not even like, oh, well, it's Vince McMahon just wanting to milk the cash cow. John Cena is the face of the company. He has pull in what happens in his matches.
Yeah.
He's the reason why when he's having a feud with Dolph Ziggler or CM Punk or Daniel Bryan that he doesn't lose clean. Because he's the fucking superhero and you can't possibly hit him with your finishing move and he
pin
gets
him.
pinned
Well,
for
that's
3.
like the fucking Royal Rumble when he fought Randy Orton. How they literally did each move back to back like 8 times in a row. They're like RKO to the AA, back to the RKO again. Well, guess what? We'll do another AA again. It's just like fucking end it.
It's like,
already,
what's a
dude.
fucking finishing move anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know
well,
all this-
it takes away the validity
Yeah.
of the damage that it inflicts.
And while this like match was happening, that Randy Orton and John Cena were arguing with each other in the middle of the rings, like freaking figuring out who's gonna win this freaking match
Yeah.
because they both can't figure out. Like Randy Orton's like, I thought I was supposed to win this match, and John Cena's like, no, I'm John Cena though. And then they just keep hitting each other with these moves until one of them gets tired and decides to like fall for the 3
Well,
count.
in that case, I'd like to think of it more as they're both just. Well, I mean, we're subpar wrestlers at best, so I guess we'll just kind of hit each other with our signature moves, kick out at 2 or 2.9, and wait for the Wyatts to interfere because Mr. John Cena, holy god of wrestling, cannot lose fairly. When was the last time a heel beat a face clean? Whatever.
All I would say is that like the new generation shit. The only thing that I like are the Wyatts.
The Wyatts,
Yeah.
I like the Shield. I like the stable
Shield's
game.
gay. Their fucking faction doesn't even make any sense, like at all. They don't.
Well, to be noted, I think that the Shield, singularly, each one of the 3 have a future like by themselves and
Without
winning,
the stable of
winning, winning multiple titles.
Wyatts?
Whoever goes face or heel, but Bray Wyatt of the Wyatts is the only one I see going anywhere.
Yeah, the
Maybe-
other two are probably not.
Maybe the two guys will get tag titles once or twice, but
They're his
have they
cronies.
spoken yet?
They're his cronies.
The Wyatts, they remind me of like the Brood meets the Brood meets the friggin' Oddities.
No, they're like
That's
they're
what
like
the
the
Wyatts
fucked up
remind
version
me
of the
of.
Godwin twins.
Yes.
If you remember those and shit, like Hillbilly Jim, they're like the
Well,
exact
yeah,
same
but
thing.
like they have that weirdness of the Brood and
Bushwhackers.
They have the appeal of the Oddities. Like the Godwin twins were kind of like a different thing. Like they didn't have that like weird fucking ambiance.
Well,
going on.
I'll give it to Bray Wyatt. Like he brings something new, like the whole southern kind of religious but totally whacked out cult type deal, and he's pretty interesting on the mic. I'll give him that and whatever. But the other two, it just they're big and southern looking.
But
Just
that,
like the
but
Oddities.
that's what they're supposed to be.
Well,
It's
no, I'm
supposed
not
to be
saying
like-
they're doing it wrong,
Yeah.
but besides being a tag team, sure they're big and they
That's-
have
that's
beards
what they're
and
there
they wear
for.
and they wear disgusting raggedy clothes.
But that's what
You
they're.
remember
there
Earthquake and Typhoon?
But I'm just trying to say, like, eventually a team has to break up, unless you're the Usos, who look exactly alike.
They look
The-
like little
the-
miniature Rikishi
honestly,
rocks.
honestly, the Usos.
Exactly.
The Usos probably won't ever break up.
No, they're like the Legion of Doom,
They're like
one of them will die. And
Or-
then,
or they'll die.
it'll
They'll get
either
a
be
third that
they
gets
never,
paralyzed and the core member will die. And
they
that's
never
it.
break up, or it'll
Just
be.
just a note. Sorry, we've got the garage door open and it's raining crazy outside.
should probably just close the garage door.
The dead man's coming.
Dead
No,
man
it's slowing
coming.
down. I hear this.
So if you hear
Thanks,
that,
God.
just that's what's going
That's
on.
just me peeing. Don't worry.
That's elephant peanut.
A mighty stream.
What's cool about the Wyatts, because like now it's like kind of predictable. You know what's going to happen within like the future of the next couple months of like everyone figured out what WrestleMania was going to be like fucking come December. And then like with the Wyatts, it's
That
like they're
rain,
so
though.
random. Like they just like showed up during the middle of like John Cena and Orton's match, like
But
at the Royal Rumble, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And then like they don't even talk about it at all for like
Yeah.
2 months, and then they finally like at Elimination Chamber, they're like, "Okay,
They
now
do
we're gonna
it.
finish.
They do
We're
it
gonna
again.
finish."
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
But now they're
elimination
gonna
is
actually start
completely
the feud of
closed,
it.
and the lights are out, and the Wyatts are in the ring.
Well, because it was just like last year. The Shield were unstoppable, and now who's the next stable to be stopped by the superhero? There's Wyatts, and then John Cena either finding one or two partners. He definitely one or two, not superhero. I'm gonna beat three people, like almost beating the Shield, which was ridiculous. He's going to find some sort of person to be like, help me out. And they're like, well, I'm not in a match. I'm Sheamus, and I'm like you.
I think what's gonna happen is
It's like they'll find somebody, and then you just name drop Sheamus right away.
what's gonna happen is if he fights, if it has to be John Cena versus all three Wyatts, John Cena's gonna win.
Oh, yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
But if it's gonna be like a singles, like like Bray versus,
He'll lose.
He'll lose.
Yeah.
Like when they did Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Bray
They
won.
interfered and he lost. Duh.
Do you know what's great about all these new stables that are like going out causing these feuds? The New Age Outlaws are still the fucking champions. That's what's great
Ridiculous.
about this.
Ridiculous.
The New
Well,
Age
no,
Outlaws are
I
still
mean,
the goddamn tag team
If,
champions.
if we're even getting into that
That's kind of
subject,
bullshit.
the entirety of Triple H being in charge. Let's see. His best friends from DX are tag team champions. His two friends from Evolution are in the main event of WrestleMania 30. His other friend from Evolution, Ric Flair, is back in WWE. I don't know how he feels about Hulk Hogan, but he's back. It's
Oh,
and
Batista's
it's-
back now also?
Like, oh,
Last-
right.
last member of Evolution.
Him simply coming back. Well, I was saying them two in the main event, and it's
Yeah.
it's this
Which
sort of
possibility
favoritism.
might now be a triple threat match.
With who?
Daniel Bryan.
Well, either that or
Well,
Daniel
they're-
Bryan faces Kane or Triple
Well,
H.
what they're planning on trying to do is to set up the Triple H versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and if Daniel Bryan wins, he'll be able to get involved into the match in the main event,
Oh, that'd be so.
which would
I
probably
would,
lead to him actually
Winning and him being
which
like,
would be like
this god
fucking
tier.
huge.
if Daniel Bryan beat Triple H on the same night and then later going into the I would mark out. I would mark out so hard. And that
I think that's
translation.
the same way to save the fucking WWE with their fucking crappy storylines. Like,
Yes,
just let the guy
yes.
fucking win already.
Well, the thing is,
Because if you look at it, like how they've been setting it up, like when he's
it was the whole
wrestling-
summer.
Well, like he's been like doing the overcoming the odds, like he took on Kane and beat him legitly. Like I think that's what they're trying to push. Like he can do anything.
Yeah, well, he's you know
Yes.
they were left with an open space when CM Punk left.
Oh, he
just
pulled the
straight
Stone
up-
Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
he
he
didn't just
straight
leave.
up
He fucking
left, but-
copied Stone Cold Steve Austin's script and left.
But he had
WWF.
He had
That's
such
what
a good
fucking
reason,
CM
though.
Punk did.
He had such a good reason though because he's fed up just like all the rest of us are when a part timer comes in, Batista, The Rock, and they're immediately handed title shot and WrestleMania main event just because
They were in a movie
think
last year.
that they're going to get major
Yeah.
Well, we already know
Pay-per-view
Batista's not
buys.
going to win because he's a fucking movie star now. He can't hold the title.
Right,
for more
exactly.
than, like,
Just
a month.
like The Rock. Like, if Batista was going to win it, he should have won it at Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, and then lose at WrestleMania, and then he could go back to
But
doing Disney movies.
The only reason The Rock lost the title to
Hey,
John
Marvel.
Cena during last year's Royal or WrestleMania was because The Rock was trying to give John Cena a push that he needed, but it didn't really work out in John Cena's favor because the fans didn't want The Rock to lose to John
No,
Cena.
of course
So
not.
The Rock was
Well, now
trying
that
to
The
give
Rock
John
is back,
Cena a
it's fucking
push
better.
to win. Like he was trying to make John Cena a little more popular because he beat The Rock at WrestleMania for
No,
the fucking
nothing-
title. But
nothing-
nothing of that happened because no one likes John Cena.
No, not even The Rock trying to put over John Cena can put John Cena over because John Cena is John Cena's own worst enemy. Sure, he's Mr. Make-A-Wish Foundation master, but that doesn't make up for the fact that he doesn't seem to understand what the fans want. And losing fairly once or twice isn't going to kill his
Yeah.
Your record's not
System.
real,
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah, like he's acting like it's so serious, or his fans, all the little kids, are just going to leave him as soon as what John Cena. No,
I mean-
throw away my T-shirt.
Yeah, look at The Rock and Stone Cold's record, man.
They
They
lost
lost
all
all the
the
damn time.
Yeah.
They weren't the champion all the time.
And
They,
they
didn't
came-
need to be.
that's what
because they had
made it
so
so-
much damn personality that they didn't need to be the damn champion all the time. That they were just them.
That's what
And they
made it so
They
interesting.
had the fans on their side, even though they lost. Like what Stone Cold Steve Austin's last match, he lost to The Rock at WrestleMania. He allowed that to happen because he didn't need to win.
Well, in that
he was
case-
already Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, we're talking about The Undertaker, and he actually wanted to lose sooner. Well, not to say that he's going to lose this year against
I-
Brock
I
If he
Lesnar.
loses to
hope-
Brock Lesnar,
I'm gonna be
give up on everything.
pissed,
Yeah,
bro. I'm gonna be so
this
mad. if
can't
he loses.
happen.
No, this doesn't seem like, as much as I wanted WrestleMania 30 to be a great ending point for Undertaker, and it should have been CM Punk or Daniel Bryan to actually beat him, because he's gotta lose. And Undertaker himself has wanted to lose, but they want to keep him on because that's one of the draws that they hold on to for
Do you
the
know
card.
what would be awesome if when WrestleMania did happen and right before Brock Lesnar is supposed to come out, CM Punk fucking comes
Yeah.
out and freaking just beats Undertaker.
I would die.
Or-
That'd
or
be
like
amazing.
Brock
that would
Lesnar
be the
gets beat
perfect
up.
writing in WWE. Like CM Punk comes back, he ends the streak of the Undertaker, and that's it.
And he signifies himself as best in the world.
I mean, one of the match, I'm pretty sure it was match of the year last year, CM Punk versus Undertaker. Like, I couldn't handle my shit as soon as it was announced and the way they did it. Like,
How Punk was like kind of.
he was full on heel. Like,
Well, no, wait,
Paul
wait. That's
Bearer's
when Paul
family.
Bear died, and he took the,
Like,
took
no,
the urn and
his
shit.
family said it was okay to use his memory and his character and everything, and he just got so much heat for it. And it was all those same fans who were like, we want the Attitude Era, and then he does something controversial, and then the fans get mad. Like, they're so back and forth about it, and then the actual match was such a killer that it was another piss in the pool because the main event had to be John Cena versus Rock. Once in a lifetime, part 2. just that sentence alone, like, there's money in the rematch. Thanks.
All I'm saying is John Cena better not get The Rock 3 times because that only stands for The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin 3 times in the WrestleMania.
No, well, it diminishes whatever they're quote unquote trying to do with the Wyatts interfering in John Cena's match twice. at a pay-per-view.
Maybe they'll do like they did with Papa Shango versus the Ultimate Warrior when the Ultimate Warrior or Papa Shango killed the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, when he put a curse on him, dude, he start throwing up and
Bray
shit.
Wyatt will fucking kill John Cena.
Dude, yeah, I hope he puts a
Let's
curse
hope.
on him, makes him
Like,
start throwing up.
I'm pretty
then-
sure Dean Ambrose is going to be the new member of the Wyatts.
Oh please.
You think it's gonna be Dean?
Dean Ambrose does look like he might be shaping up to be the new member
Well,
of the
with
Wyatts.
their match at Elimination
Yeah,
Chamber,
he disappeared.
like they're all fighting, and then he left, and he seems like the most likely to go into a strong heel. Like even Triple H has said, and on the other side, like for some reason they're pushing Roman Reigns so hard as a face, Mister. I'm big, kind of like Batista, do a killer spear and have like the longest hair in the world,
It's
and
grossly wet and oily.
yeah,
and sweaty.
just so long and straight.
I think what it is it's like, to me, he's like a combination of Batista and Razor Ramon.
Yes.
Because he has like that pretty guy, but he has that like big,
Tough guy.
tough animal-ish thing, and he kind of plays it to his.
So he's like Kevin Nash.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go with that. That's a good one. He's like the Latino Kevin Nash.
Well, I mean, I'd like to think he has more character, but to be
Then Kevin Nash.
no. As I'm saying, he
I'm about to
has
say.
more character, but is more along the lines of a single character as Goldberg, because he's so tough and he's like the one that usually anchors
Well,
and
you're-
seals the deal of every Shield win.
Because tonight on SmackDown, the Wyatts and the Shield face off.
Again.
Again.
They didn't actually face off. The
Again.
Wyatts were in the ring cutting a promo. Shield shows up. They
Oh, on
mount
the
the ring.
Titantron?
No, they're cutting a promo in the ring. The
Okay.
Wyatts.
No. And then the
The
Shield
Shield shows up, come through the crowd. They're both on both sides of the ring. Triple H comes out and says,
Still
no,
you
I have too much money invested in this.
Save it for the pay-per-view.
We're keeping promotion for this. Monday, you guys are gonna wrestle.
Is Triple H
Again.
with Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
Pretty
He-
much.
Well, because
he
Vince
says-
is so old that Triple H is is the one that's more involved, because he can be the one who
Goes out there.
intervenes and can be attacked or has a match
Because
or
he is
whatever.
the last surviving
Yeah.
member of the Attitude Era, besides
Yes.
like Kane and shit.
And Triple H does do a lot of the script writing too, and like,
Right,
he
right.
oversees the entire script of the WWE franchise.
They need to
Yeah.
fucking fix Kane,
And then-
man.
Yeah,
And then like,
that was a cop out.
and
Well,
then
it's garbage. Like they've like when he came out and debuted in like '97, he was like this cool badass character, and then like he progressively changed. Like, oh, the voice thing was like, oh, he's fine, and then like, oh, I actually wear a wig the entire time. I actually have this weird fucking half hair thing going on, and now it's like then he goes like he takes off the mask. And puts the mask back on with long hair and a wig. Then wears like the fucking Army of Two helmet. And then now I'm corporate.
That's totally
Kane.
what it is.
Now I'm corporate Kane. I don't have like burn scars, and I actually I shave my head now. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this character? Like you've changed so much.
yo, you
he
you
should
must
not even be
have
called.
forgot Kane. See, he started off as a
When
as
he
a
came
barber.
back, when he put the
Dentist.
mask on,
Dentist.
Isaac Yankem DDS.
Isaac
Wait,
Isaac
Yankem.
Yankem.
Kane's a dentist?
He started.
was
He
a
was the
dentist.
dentist. He was the
Yes.
dentist.
His
when he
first
started.
Isaac
gimmick
Yankem.
was a dentist.
Okay.
Isaac Yankem.
I have a fucking VHS tape of a WWF when it's Isaac Yankem versus Bret Hart in a steel cage.
Oh no.
Okay,
That's
And
like
Mabel
epic.
versus Undertaker in a casket
on the
match.
WWE Network or whatever, does it have all those like movies and stuff they release?
As long as movies.
Or
like-
like the
Well, this one was like
Marine
a
and
best of
stuff.
type thing that
no,
I have,
not,
but
not
like
movie
they have
movies,
like the
where
in your
it's
house.
like a collection of a highlight reel for like
They have
The
you
Rock
can-
had the most electrifying whatever.
Oh,
Well, I
like,
mean-
like the top 100s and the top 50s. And
Oh
all
no,
that,
I don't think they
whatever.
have those on.
No,
there.
Wait, do you mean like the movies, quote unquote, that they bring out, like The Rock's commentary on his favorite matches?
Or like This Is My Life.
I've never
Part
seen
3.
it.
Yeah.
but-
No, I think it's more like the stuff that's on Netflix, like the documentaries
Yes.
and like the
Like
top
the top
100
100
moves.
No,
the
I
top
think
50 finishers.
I
stuff
think
like
they're
that.
working on that
It's like, yeah, they
because
came out with, like,
now
a
that they're just
compilation.
coming out with their network and their streaming service, that their WWE, some of their WWE stuff is still on Netflix and maybe
Which,
Hulu or whatever. So they're probably waiting for that deal to expire or something.
Well, the
Well,
first
they
thing they're
own the
putting on
IP.
there is a Sting thing. So that's them slightly hinting that he's coming.
Yeah.
Yo, really? They're hinting at Sting coming?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Steve Borden.
they've done that for a while actually. Like they put on little segments on the website, like the craziest toys you'd never think of, and the 2 fucking toys they had to put together just to make my
Undertaker and
mind
Sting.
crack is Undertaker and Sting, and I'm like, you can't do this to me. I can't handle it.
I think
That
they
would be
can't handle it.
that would be
what's gonna
that'd be a
happen.
disgusting WrestleMania match. I mean, disgusting in a good way.
That or
Oh
they're
yeah,
keeping a
I would
really good
throw
secret
money
on
at the
Kevin.
screen because they did not kill me enough. Like that's it's like it's one of those things that is just waiting for it to be picked up and taken, and it being a hot prospect.
I'm sure he's coming. They're just keeping it really fucking under
Well,
wraps.
it's
But
the
they
whole
keep
mess.
leaking it a little bit because they the whole deal with like putting out like a new movie with him, and then some dude mentioning something about it, like that's like some writer for fucking WWF, like. Since he's not obviously, the whole idea was to have him come into WrestleMania to fight the Undertaker, but I think what they're gonna do is have him fight Brock Lesnar and then have like a 1-year feud up until leading till 31. Because essentially that would be the ultimate like end to the Undertaker.
I don't think him like the Undertaker having like a 2-month feud with somebody, 3-month feud.
Well, if they
you
set
know,
it up
coming
before
out of Royal
WrestleMania,
Rumble
but-
and shit, like.
No. It
But
was
he's gonna have a
Elimination
legend
Chamber.
contract, though.
So it was
Which is
only
even 2
only
months.
4 weeks of build up for Undertaker Brock Lesnar. Also to be noted, if I were Undertaker, and it has been documented that he and Brock Lesnar have a legitimate dislike for each other. Like it's been noted back when even
UFC.
even before that, like when they had their matches in Hell in a Cell and everything, like they did not like each other.
A lot of the WWE superstars hate Brock Lesnar because the fact is, like, when the Brock Lesnar gets matches, they don't tell the other WWE superstars about them. Like, Brock Lesnar just gets dropped on people. Like, Brock Lesnar is like this entity that like happens and like, oh, you're gonna lose to Brock Lesnar tonight.
Well,
really, is that what's gonna happen? I'm gonna lose to Brock Lesnar tonight.
He's literally Vince McMahon's wet dream because he has this whole idea, or as he's always had, Ultimate Warrior, roided out Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, this big beefy white dude who just runs through everybody because he's a little over 6 foot and he's like 300 pounds.
And his ear looks fucking crazy.
And he happens to talk in the fucking third person.
Yeah, but then of course you know
You're a
you
badass
can't have
in the WWE
all of them
talking
being
in
a
third
quality
person.
talker. So Brock Lesnar needs emphasis on needs a manager like Paul Heyman because you can't quite get better than Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman's one of the best managers,
and you can't quite get worse than a Brock Lesnar because to quote the masterful lyricist that is Brock Lesnar, John Cena, the feeling that you're feeling, that feeling is fear. And that feeling is the feeling you're going to feel this Sunday. I can't make this shit up. The guy's a goon. Sure, he can fight, and he was good in college at wrestling.
I think he can feel.
I like that soul-piercing stare you gave me when you just recited that.
I felt it had to be done.
Did you feel fear, Newman?
I think I crapped myself.
He literally used that word fucking 8 times.
Feeling?
That feeling is fear.
You know what he was feeling?
That feeling you're feeling, you're going to feel it this Sunday. Feel it.
Feel it.
And it was right then. It was right then at that promo that they're like, yeah,
Paul Heyman.
hey, Paul Heyman, could you come back? This guy's a fucking moron.
Shit, Brock Lesnar cut better promos in the UFC.
Jesus. Like when he had a beard. And
And then he gets rocked by some like dyed-haired punk dude.
Yeah, it's that kind of
I
stuff.
want to see fucking Brock Lesnar versus the Undertaker. Like they've done it before.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the kind of thing. Like, oh, okay, so they've had multiple matches, but it hasn't been at WrestleMania, so now it's a new thing.
I'd rather have him fight Kane again,
Yeah.
and then make Kane come back to the real Kane.
Yes.
I honestly feel that last year's WrestleMania was so lackluster that Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker can't happen. Like, I have a feeling they have something bigger than that. Like, I really want
That
to
could be
believe
their
that.
debut of Sting.
Like, I really do want to believe that they have something better planned than Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker.
I
Because
love-
last
I
year's
love-
WrestleMania sucked.
I love your optimism, I really do. And as much as I'd like for them to care about it being WrestleMania 30, like WrestleMania 20 fucking killed it. It was one of the first ones.
Was that the one with Hogan Rock? Or
That
was
was
that
the
18?
No.
return of the
That was
Undertaker.
18, huh?
That was Mick Foley and Rock versus Evolution, except Triple
Yeah.
H.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that was Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and the triple threat
Yeah.
with Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
And the WrestleMania.
That was a fucking.
It
gnarly
killed it.
match.
WrestleMania 19 was Stone Cold Rock 3, right?
20 was Undertaker, Kane.
Yeah, the return of
Yeah.
the Undertaker.
Yeah,
Paul Bearer.
19 was Undertaker, Big Show, A-Train.
I mean, that was headlined with Stone Cold Rock 3, right?
Stone
19.
Cold, yeah.
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 Another rumor too, since like they're doing the Hall of Fame thing, and since Ultimate Warriors finally agreed to be a
Finally
part
come
of it,
back.
so they might have him interfere with the Ryback thing and make him fucking fuck with Ryback. Well, not like permanently, but for
Right.
just WrestleMania, just be like, is there anyone that can stop me? The fucking Ultimate Warrior can, like old ass Ultimate Warrior.
Just do his finisher and then just leave. Just come
Just do
in,
the
do
body
his
press
entrance, and then do his finisher and leave. And then Ryback's just, feed me, I love.
And then you just still
You
get
know,
you still get
tampons.
you still get the Goldberg chance.
Do you know
for
what'd
it.
be
Yeah.
funny if like Goldberg actually came
It'll
back and
never
right back?
happen.
No,
Like, I know that's not gonna happen, but like it can't happen. It won't happen.
The 13-year-old Mark in my heart would constantly holds on to the thought of Goldberg coming back
just
and
imagine-
doing the greatest of
Just imagine
Oh.
Goldberg coming back, fucking spearing Ryback and giving him the jackhammer.
and,
One,
and
two,
of all
three.
jackhammers and just putting him down and he
And then
just
the
he looks
crowd
straight at the
could
camera and he
legitimately-
says, "You're next."
Yeah, and then the crowd could legitimately chant Goldberg.
Legitimately.
Goldberg.
Not some cop out RVD
Oh.
outfit wearing like Ultimate
He's a
Warrior as
mixture.
Reckless
He
wrestling.
wears RVD's outfit, looks like Goldberg, and fucking wrestles like Rhino.
It-
He's literally Rhino.
No. He wrestles like Ultimate Warrior because the amount of people that he's injured, like CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler,
Yep.
Yeah.
like he put him out too. It wasn't just a minor goof. Like the guy is dangerous.
Yeah, but you know you have a bad following when people are still chanting someone else's name for you. Even when Gilbert came out of the ring,
Gilbert.
they chanted Gilbert, not Goldberg. Like you have a terrible.
When you're trying to be the
backing and
parody
script writing.
of Goldberg and you get your own name.
Yeah, like Ryback doesn't have that. Like Ryback gets chanted
like-
Goldberg every week.
It's ridiculous that likely in the game you would get a Ryback chant when he has never gotten a Ryback chant, but he has gotten a "Feed Me More" chant. That's his greatest claim to people actually finding interest in him, not being a knockoff of other big bald dudes.
Yeah, exactly. He is like the freaking. I don't have words.
He's
like,
the worst. Like,
yeah.
He's just
fucking
the
got
next
Ryback
big
soul
muscle.
combo. He's
Yeah.
terrible. He's a fucking
Like
dog.
he and not to mention he I think it was when Brock Lesnar was feuding with John Cena just for John Cena to come back from his loss to The Rock that Ryback actually got beat up by Brock Lesnar in the backstage, and you can actually see it in like the next Raw or even the pay-per-view that he had like a bursted blood vessel in his eye and like a little bit of a black eye under his eye. And it was just,
Do they still do that? Where they go back like all throughout the freaking building wrestling and stuff?
well, they've tried to get you a little more close to the superstars, like with some backstage fallout and some Twitter questions being answered and all this silly stuff. But there's always that.
I feel like
veil
there's
of-
less like parking lot matches.
It'll never be
It's
that
not hard.
attitude
It's
era
fucking
ever
PG
again.
era, man. Like,
Like
they
you're
wouldn't have that.
you're never
They
gonna
didn't do
have
hardcore
it off
matches
camera.
anymore.
Like
You're not gonna see somebody get hit by a car. Like,
Well,
No.
they don't call it that anymore. Like, sure, they have quote unquote extreme rules, but it's just like he uses a chair once or twice, and it breaks like fucking styrofoam.
I think
Or
Edge was
they're-
the end of that era. Like, when
Yeah,
he
as
retired.
soon as Edge like sadly had to
like
retire because he
SmackDown or
didn't want to become paralyzed.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he retired the same reason Stone Cold Steve Austin retired.
Yeah, I mean,
They had,
his neck was
missing
too
discs in
fragile.
their freaking
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
They're missing parts of their body, people.
Luckily,
And then people are like, "No, we don't want to see you leave." And he's like, "I'm gonna die if I stay."
The only way
you
they
fucking
can bring back
retard.
like the
Come on."
extreme type shit is if they ever fucking brought back Jeff Hardy.
no, yeah.
No,
That's
he's
the only
he's
way.
locked in on TNA.
Yeah,
I know, but
he's-
that's the only way they bring back.
Because
that
like the
style.
thing is like he's starting a new gimmick in TNA right
Oh,
now.
now he's like the new Sting and shit like that.
Right.
He has
Yeah,
face paint
he
and
calls
all that
himself Willow.
stuff.
Well, he's
Life,
not to say that he's a complete copy
then we die.
of the Wyatts, but he had this character like back before WWE. But I'd like to say it's from the influence of the success of the Wyatts that Jeff Hardy is coming into TNA with his
New persona.
he's
finally
returning.
a new persona.
Yeah, he's returning with a new Jeff Hardy who's like wearing like
He
face paint.
No, he has a mask.
Yeah, and sort of a mask.
He has a mask on, and it wraps around his head, and then he has like braid dreads.
Yeah, and then he's
I was like, what the
talking just like the Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
But the whole issue with TNA is that there's some sort of giant parasite or a tumor on there that TNA is just circling the drain, and people that are good and there really need to get out while they can, like AJ Styles.
You know what it is? Is it like it seems like they're trying to blame Dixie. Like through the storyline of TNA, it seems like they're trying to blame Dixie.
Not to say that that'd be the wrong thing to do, because as soon as it left Jeff Jarrett's hands, I mean, TNA was doing better, not monetarily, but
It was
from a fan's
it was almost comparable.
from a fan's
fan-wise.
point of view. TNA was doing the best that they've ever done in 05 and 06. Like when Kurt Angle came in and finally beat Samoa Joe, that blew people's minds. Like the guy was undefeated for like almost 3 years, and that was one of the hottest feuds that people have ever seen. And then, of course, in the WWE, the people are talking like, I'm John Cena, and the hottest feud people have ever wanted to see is me against you, Triple H.
Yeah,
Like,
of course. 'Cause
no.
we always wanted to see John Cena versus Triple H.
Yeah. Like the old John Cena versus the new John Cena, except the old John Cena lost like a regular person would.
Yeah, once he ditched the rap persona, he just became like almost invincible, dude.
Because you can't see him.
But in that case, sort of, I'd like to bring up who was your who is your constant, like who will always be your favorite wrestler?
Oh, that's easy for me. I know that off the top of my head. Stone Cold Steve Austin always is the best wrestler in my eyes. I've watched Stone Cold Steve Austin since he was in the WCW.
Just
as
overall?
freaking Steve Williams. And yeah, overall, Stone Cold Steve Austin's always had it. Like, he has been the person.
What was the fucking thing you told me? Fucking frozen fingers.
Oh yeah, Frozen McFingers or something like that. Like when he
coming up
first
with it,
entered the WCW and told them about his like the persona he wanted, because he wanted to be like the freaking hitman, the Iceman.
Yeah.
He told WCW about that, and he's like, Fingers McFrost. That was one of the
Fingers
names.
McFrost. Gold. That's gold.
That was one of the names the WWF gave Stone Cold Steve Austin when he first tried to enter the WWF, was Fingers McFrost. And but yeah, like Stone Cold Steve Austin always had that like it. Like his health has kind of dwindled through.
You know,
It's getting really
if I were to take
Can you
that's starting to get kind of loud. Yeah.
All right.
So,
one second.
You might want to pause it real quick.
No, we'll just turn the audio down.
Yeah, definitely Stone Cold Steve Austin, my favorite in the whole industry. He just had it. Like he was in the WCW, he was in the ECW, he was in the WWF.
You know, and he's still not only promoting the WWE, but he's also still kind of influencing wrestling. Like he still does, he still goes to live events. He has a podcast now.
Yeah. JR does as well, and JR just
JR has
launched
his own
his podcast with 2 episodes with Stone Cold Steve Austin. His first 2 episodes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, me?
D'Lo Brown.
Duh.
The Nation of Domination.
No, Mark Henry, bro.
Mark Henry.
Of course.
The world's strongest man, of course.
Shaved his head, looks like Kimbo Slice's brother.
Since, as anyone could tell who's been listening to this, I don't know a lot about wrestling. But the era I watched and then I stopped watching immediately after was Stone Cold versus The Rock, pretty much, that whole thing. And The Rock was my favorite. Like, I hated him at first. It was all about Stone Cold. But when he, like, flipped over to being the star.
Strudel, the people's strudel.
The
Yeah,
people's
when
fucking
started
strudel.
People's
actually-
pie.
He got creative with his stupid words. It was just like the most entertaining person.
He had like the world's
He was
most
the best on the
catchphrases.
mic. He was
Yeah,
the
seriously the
fucking
best on
people's
the mic.
eyebrow, fucking. He
People's
said the most
people's elbow pen.
Well, I mean,
Said the most
just
outlandish
a
things.
quick touch is that you have Stone Cold and you have The Rock. Sure, they're, you look at them, obviously Hulk Hogan, but like of popularity, sure, they killed it just as much in wrestling, but then they go outside of wrestling and Rock he has this charisma and he has this look that just sells. And Stone Cold, like, sure, he's kind of making movies, but I mean, he's the fucking Rock.
Well, the thing is like the Rock, he transitioned sooner into Hollywood.
While he was still kind of there?
Yeah, while he was still very popular in WWE.
See, I liked him.
When The Rock was still The Rock in the WWE, Stone Cold was making episodes of Nash Bridges. So like the Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of went to Hollywood first, but The Rock had a better grasp at it.
Right.
The Rock had that he had that Hollywood persona.
Yeah. But see, now Austin has created his own brand.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is great.
No, there's nothing wrong with Stone Cold Steve Austin, but The Rock has just fit so well into the movie genre to where just last year with G.I. Joe, Pain and Gain, and something.
The Tooth Fairy.
Damn it, no, not the Tooth Fairy.
Damn it, no.
I got out of it before The Rock got into the movie.
But I mean, just last year he came out with like 3 or 4 top-selling movies.
Decent flicks.
Yeah, where he became like.
He's like the Fast and the Furious and stuff.
Oh, the Fast and Furious. Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is. Like those 3 almost alone that just put him over the top to where he's Dwayne Johnson, and people can recognize him as Dwayne Johnson. And at first, it's like, what the fuck is Dwayne Johnson? Like, what kind of name is that? And you're like, Dwayne Johnson? I'm not gonna fuck with that guy.
I think both names are pretty synonymous now.
Yeah, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, it kind of.
He doesn't even use The Rock anymore. It's just Dwayne Johnson.
He can be like I remember when he first Scorpion King or whatever. He was The Rock.
Yeah, in the credits, he was The Rock.
Yeah, he came out in like a little bit later movies, like the more kidsy whatever, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and then Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and then just recently he's Dwayne Johnson.
I think in the Fast and the Furious was his first time. It was just Dwayne Johnson.
Fast 5, yeah.
Fast 5, yeah. It's Dwayne Johnson.
It was like, oh shit!
Like I am Dwayne Johnson. I'm using my own name now.
Yeah,
that is it.
I just love the way CM Punk.
The Rock says I'm Dwayne Johnson.
I love the way CM Punk pronounces it though. He's just Dwayne, just kisses Vince McMahon's ass.
Dwayne.
Alright. Dude, this is like tough choice because see, it all comes down to I like all the shit from the early '90s and stuff like that. Like I like the Attitude Era, but the '90s had the best gimmicks. And they played them off well.
You like Doink the Clown?
No,
Dink and Doink.
Back then, he's considered one of the worst gimmicks on the list, but I still think Papa Shango was one of the tightest characters. Just because back then, dude, he did the coolest shit. Fucking made Ultimate Warrior throw up all over himself.
Yeah, he gave Ultimate Warrior a curse, dude.
His first his first match debut was some fucking random jobber kind of guy, and he's standing in the corner rubbing his wrist and getting ready, and all of a sudden his hand just immediately starts lighting on fire and shit like that. Fucking burns some dude boots and shit like that. Baba Shango was tight, dude. Which, by the way, was The Godfather.
To be noted.
It is
he took you on the train.
But I don't know, I can't. I'd have to pick one from each promotion just because
that's a good point.
That is a really good.
As far as WWF goes, probably I would. It's a tie between Papa Shango for his crazy gimmick, and probably Shawn Michaels is probably my all-time favorite.
No,
that's a good pick.
And Bret Hart is a close third. I like that.
You gotta respect Bret. Just on the topic of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, the screw job. That's just renowned.
Vince McMahon.
It's not even that.
Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart.
In case people didn't know, I'm sure Newman's not too familiar with the Montreal screw job.
If you're a wrestling fan, you
know what the Montreal screw job is.
Yeah.
Essentially, Bret Hart was the champion. Briefly, I believe he was unhappy with what
he was going to leave to WCW, and he did not want to lose it before he left.
He didn't want to lose the belt. And so essentially he was in a match with Shawn Michaels on his last pay-per-view. Shawn Michaels put him in his own submission move. Vince McMahon came out and told the ref...
No, ref already... Everyone knew except Bret.
Everyone knew except for Bret. And then, Vince came out, boom, boom, boom. And then right as he put him in the submission, he didn't tap out. He called the bell he tapped out. And it was whoa. Even Shawn Michaels grabs his title and just walks away. He knew it was dirty.
And that's why, even to this day, if Shawn Michaels is ever at a wrestling event and and it's in Canada, everyone will boo him. He's such a face. Even when he was trying to be a heel against Hulk Hogan, but Canada always hates him.
Well, now that they did the whole apology thing, now he's on better
Yeah,
terms.
Yeah, a little
Fine,
bit.
They try and shake hands a little bit, but you know,
You still felt the tension
But
in
that's
the ring
the
though, when
Montreal
like that
Screwjob.
happened. Like,
yeah.
And like
Yeah,
Still wasn't
essentially, like
resolved.
it was huge because it was like, you know, it was the first time like it became really relevant that it was like, you know, these matches are called like
Well, the reality of it.
the reality of like, wow, these matches are like,
but essentially
like they're
that
essentially set
that
up.
screw job was the beginning of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah,
beginning.
That was
was-
the beginning of like the new Vince McMahon.
It was like what, 97?
Yeah.
That Survivor
Yeah.
Series
Yeah.
97.
Yeah.
It was. It was the start of it all. That was the start of the new era.
Like WCW, I can't really pick a favorite just because like I don't really remember many of them. Like I do, but like they're not. I didn't like. I get Goldberg would probably be my
Diamond Dallas Page was my favorite.
Thank you.
No,
I was waiting so long
he
for my
was
answers.
garbage.
I'd have to pick Sting. I'm not
But
not
that-
overall,
yeah.
not overall, but WCW, I would pick Sting.
Okay, you know what? I'll pick somebody, but I didn't like him when he was part of the Wolfpack when he kept jumping between factions. I liked Lex Luger before he like became like
Wait,
I'm
as the
into-
narcissist?
where-
When he was like the American,
when
like,
he was like the last
when he had the
surviving
fucking
member
things
of-
on his arm
No,
and shit?
when like him and Sting would like team up, but like when like they like right as he put on the black and white face paint, but like Luger was still like the face guy, like he was the new Sting character.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then he was like, I'm in the NWO. Now I'm in the Wolfpack. Now I'm back in the NWO. Now I'm an asshole. Like then I stopped caring about that.
Yeah.
But I always liked Lex Luger.
Yeah.
And ECW, it's all about the Sandman. The
Oh,
Sandman.
Fuck
no,
the
I-
Sandman, bro. Sandman
Sandman was
is the
the
worst,
type. Oh,
dude.
Fuck
Okay,
that.
okay,
He's-
Yo,
okay.
Jerry Lynn, dude. That's all I gotta
Jerry.
say.
Whoa, well, okay. So I'm gonna drop it like it's hot right now because WCW. I already said
Back
Sting
cheesing.
because I loved. It's hot sauce spicer.
Hey, you're fan
Spicy
of the
McSpicy
previous,
man. I don't know.
previous guest on the podcast.
Keeping it spicy. You better keep your bread and water handy.
Actually, it should be milk because milk is better. It's a,
Milk and bread, whatever.
It,
We can edit
absorbs
that
the
out.
Spice. Sorry.
WCW, it's Sting. I love the face paint. Like it's so unique. Like
You like the monochromatic Ultimate Warrior, is what you're saying.
Nobody. he was in the old.
if you're gonna put it,
Wait,
no.
Original Sting, he was an Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, I'm like the blonde Sting is cool. Like no, we're talking Crow. He mimicked the Crow. That's what we're talking about. The baseball bat, like Sting was great. You know, and then if we're talking ECW, then I'm talking RVD. Because he's the whole effing
I'm
show.
more of like the super hardcore type guys. Like I like the Japanese deathmatch type shit. That's why I like.
Well, I just loved that he and Jerry Lynn, as Andrew said, just put on match after match of 5-star quality and killed it every time.
Jerry Lynn, in my opinion, is probably one of the most
Underrated.
underrated as well as the most, I shouldn't say decorated, but
Capable?
capable wrestlers.
Yeah, no, he's a
That-
good
that-
wrestler,
'cause
but he
you
never
could-
got
you
the
You
fame.
could stick Jerry Lynn with almost anybody,
Yeah.
and Jerry Lynn would make that person look better.
Yeah,
Because
But
Jerry
didn't they
Lynn was
move him
the
to WCW? Didn't he go to WCW for a
He
while?
moved everywhere, I believe.
Yeah,
He was one of
went
those guys
around.
that just went to
Because
all.
he didn't.
Yeah,
go
no,
to-
he was like the Dolph Ziggler of back then because he could make anybody look good and he could have a good match
Yeah.
every time.
But look at that. That's kind of what happened with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what Rock's character was for Stone Cold. Like he made Stone Cold look awesome. Like, but then Stone Cold left, and like he made The Rock look awesome.
Yeah,
afterwards.
but
and then The
that-
Rock picked up from that.
But that's-
and then he became The Rock.
That's the thing that, just a quick tangent, is that these eras that we see, like the Golden Era or whatever, Hulk Hogan, it was just Hulk Hogan. I mean, maybe you could put in Macho Man or Ultimate Warrior or whatever, and Andre the Giant as his, like, most prolific rivalry, but it's Hulk Hogan. He's the fucking golden boy. And then you have Attitude Era. Most everybody goes apeshit for that one, obviously. You have The
Before that,
Rock.
it was really Bret Hart for a while.
Well, yeah, and Shawn Michaels as this gets there, but I mean, most prolific, Rock, Stone Cold. You have these two guys, and they go back and forth. That's why people go crazy, and they love it, and there's this constant, and they're feeding off each other with the chemistry.
Well, the thing is there were two characters that were completely, almost different.
yeah,
But
completely.
yeah, there was-
You had this
polar
like white
opposites.
redneck.
But if you
It's
look
the
at The
two
Rock,
biggest egos
yeah,
going.
Yeah.
But if you look at The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock didn't beat Stone Cold Steve Austin until WrestleMania 19. The Rock didn't beat Stone Cold Steve Austin until that moment when Stone Cold Steve Austin decided to quit.
Well, but they had these back and forths to where, I mean, it was believable, not in a case of any sort of John Cena rivalry. I mean, you look at now, and it's like Hulk Hogan. like Hulk Hogan was also like John Cena.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
Hulk Hogan didn't lose a pay-per-view until
And
WrestleMania against Ultimate Warrior.
That's what makes John Cena boring.
because
he
it's
can't lose.
predictable.
Because all the other big name superstars before John Cena had lost to other people. Like Hulk Hogan stands in that same line as John Cena. He didn't lose to people. Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan. John Cena is John Cena. But like all the other superstars between, like Bret Hart and all them, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Stone Cold, The Rock, they all lost to other people between their giant reigns, which made them interesting people. Like
But
you wanted to
It made them more believable.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the thing about John Cena was he was the ghetto people's champion up until Eddie Guerrero comes up and says, when Kurt Angle puts you in that ankle lock, don't quit. Don't quit. And then right up until then, he has never tapped out ever. Not ever, ever.
It's almost
You
like
know
they're
who can tap
right.
him out though? Chris Benoit.
And he has.
Oh,
Did you say Davey Richards?
David Richards.
I mean, Stevie Richards. Sorry.
No.
Clearly, you're not showing enough respect to Steve Richards.
Yes, come on, Stevie Richards. He was a
Fuck
beat
yeah.
up.
We're talking about the right to censor now.
Yes.
Anyway,
Let's stop that right now.
so he just turns into this unstoppable superhero that the kids can fall behind, and that's why he just never becomes this human that can lose, because that's a human factor that you're not going to constantly win. Otherwise, it becomes boring. I mean, it's like the sweet and the sour. If you don't have some sour, you don't know how good sweet is. And he just constantly wins, and somebody in creative or in management is like, no, this is good. We should
They need
no,
to go
we should
back to a
definitely
little bit
write this.
better gimmick. Like everyone now is like just their name.
They're
Like,
so plain.
Randy
They're so
Orton,
plain.
John Cena. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure his name's not Dolph Ziggler, but like, I mean, well, like those type of names, whatever just happened to like the Mankinds and the Patriot
Right,
and
like-
shit like that. Like,
Well,
Where's his
it-
personas?
I don't know what it is.
now they all
like,
wear like
that's-
MMA shirts, like Randy Orton. I wear my affliction, Randy.
Yeah,
Orton
like
shirt.
they have this tribal design, and they have this one little moniker that Michael
come
Cole
after
will not stop fucking saying, as if it's some like thing it's like that powers their fucking.
It's because
Like the
they're
music's not even good. Like
yeah,
it's all
exactly.
like
It's so
it
generic.
sounds like disturbed music
Yeah.
over and over.
it's because they're branded with words now instead of attitude. Like
Right.
they don't have their own like charisma. They're branded with what's
except
given to them.
except
Right.
CM Punk and some others I might
Well,
be
yeah, but
forgetting.
CM Punk quit
is-
according to the script.
Regardless of that, though, is that most people aren't making their own character. Like, they're giving it up to creative to make their character, and they'll fall behind it. And they'll try and attach to it, like Fandango or whatever, and they'll try and move with it. But you can only truly be that character to its 110th percent is if you create it yourself and you feel it, because the best character you can make is you with the volume up. Like, sure, you're you, but as a professional wrestler, you just let nothing go, hold nothing back, and you're just you never stop being you. It's just so wild and unpredictable.
There's one guy who's kept his gimmick going for a long time and has still done it really well, and that's Goldust.
he had unimaginably, yes,
The one last survive, like one of the like four dudes left
of
from like
wild
that
characters.
era,
Yeah.
and like people still love him, and he's the most ridiculous fucking character. It makes no sense.
This is reminding me of this is a conversation I heard previously about how cartoons back when we were kids were pretty much there was cartoons made to make toys of them, and so they just thought the most wild everything back then.
Definitely not a rip off of Teenage Mutant Turtles.
Yeah, so they just pushed things out to make cereals and toys out of them.
Cereals.
But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had cereals too.
Sharks didn't.
But nowadays, like that's not the case because toys don't sell like they do anymore, and it kind of feels like the same thing that's happening with wrestling. Like back then, everyone had personality and all this stuff, and
Yeah, and you get
Well,
lunch
like it was
boxes.
like I mean, granted, like yes, it was a little more edgy, but like the writing was so much better.
I just
like,
don't think they're trying as much. Like they have these characters and they have these
I think
moves,
it's
and it
just a
seems
different approach.
it seems a little more interesting. That's
Well,
a good
everyone's
point.
copied
but
like fucking CM Punk style, where he like he does like, I'm just gonna drop you on my knee. Like now
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan does the running knee, and then
Yeah.
you have the fucking Superman punch. It's like,
Yeah, like,
whatever
they-
happened to the crazy shit.
Like they try and do these little stuff that and like John Cena's finisher where he just puts you on his shoulders and puts you down.
It's a fireman.
It's a standing fireman's carry. That's all it is. And apparently that puts you down stronger than top rope.
And like the names aren't even catchy. Like
Yeah,
the
they-
RKO.
Hey!
Like what the fuck? Who cares? Like whatever happened to the money shot? Like Val Venus's fucking
They're
splash.
just-
Like
it just-
they're creative.
They turn down the volume on the interest of the shine and the wow factor. But it's so
Who was it that did the move? It was a leg drop, but he did a somersault leg drop.
Houston. Oh damn it! But it's Booker T. He did a
one like
front
that.
flip into a leg drop.
Yeah.
It was the Houston something. But it's just okay. Wild tangent. WCW, it's got to be Sting. ECW is RVD. WWF, like late WWF, is no. I mean, still WWF. Kevin Nash. I mean, sure, I was a kid, so it had to be like his name's Kevin too.
I hope you did not beat off.
You like
No.
the diesel, huh?
Yeah, I was all
Big
about.
Daddy Cool.
No, not only that, but the coolest fucking wrestling move I have ever seen. I mean, as I was getting into wrestling, was the goddamn power bomb. That was the coolest thing. I couldn't even wrap my mind around it.
The
Like
Dudleys
he
did
whips
the
him
best.
up, and then he drops. I just what? But slightly to mention, I prefer the sit out power bomb to the standing one. It looks like it has more impact.
Well, hey, what's
blah,
cool
blah,
about Kevin Nash is his is a little different because instead
The
of just like
jackknife.
instead of just like picking them up and slamming them, he does like a pick you up and I'm just gonna let you go.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
I'm just
tosses
gonna
him.
drop
I'll
you.
pick
Yeah.
from my
Lift you a
fucking-
little higher and just drop you.
Yeah, he just lets him go.
Yeah.
Like Sid Vicious, he does more of like aggressive.
Well,
but-
the last ride, that one's pretty fucking sick from
Okay.
The Undertaker.
Question for you:
Which you
Did
can't
you
do
have
anymore.
older brothers that wanted to perform these moves on
Of
you?
course.
Yeah,
I used to do
that's
backyard
what-
wrestling.
Yeah. I used to wrestle with my brothers all the time, and then when we weren't doing that, they would do wrestling moves on my stuffed animals that would make me very, very mad. And they would shred me
man.
very easily.
I remember when the restaurant era was going on, me and my buddies, we had a freaking California king-size bed we used to get on that we used as our wrestling ring.
We used to just go outside and just do it right outside my fucking front door.
So it was the power bomb and the drop kick. The drop kick was also one of the coolest things I've ever fucking seen. And now those are so simple of maneuvers, but just seeing some dude jump up and hit him with both feet in the face, I'm like, how does he even? What?
You know what they need to bring back? I mean, this was like a Chris Benoit move, but like it was also a Ric Flair move first. The fucking knife edge chops. You don't see those anymore.
are so there's such an artistic quality to those. Like
There's one like there's a WCW pay per view. I think it was like I was watching. Was it Sold Out or Uncensored? And it was Chris Benoit versus like some fucking random up and comer kind of guy, and he was just like he's just just hit him, and like his fucking pec, dude, was like broken blood vessels. Like it was so gross.
That's the thing about a chop, though, either knife edge or regular. I saw a match in Japan where a dude chopped the other guy in the chest so many times. It was like Seth said, like his whole chest was red and purple. It
Yeah.
looked like if he chopped him one more time, it would have just burst. Like
Just like a moldy fruit.
It's like the only
Yeah.
real like hit they actually.
yeah, exactly.
did.
Well, a legitimate
Yeah.
like strike. Yeah. Because it makes the sound by simply hitting them. They're
Because
not
a lot of the guys
hitting
who
their
used
leg
to do
or
it,
anything.
they would do the chop, but when they would do the chop, they would like hit their leg like that. But Chris Benoit would just whip it.
Oh
dude. He
yeah,
would just
they just let
like
it fly. And if you're lucky, you'll just get like a red mark on your chest. If you only hit a couple times. But like the Big Show or anything, like now that is the one legitimate strike that you're going to get and you're going to feel. So WWF was Kevin Nash, and I loved the powerbomb, the drop kick. But a little bit after that, I fell in love with Kurt Angle and his whole character of like drink your milk and I'm an Olympic hero, and I loved all of his fucking Angle slam was like simple but interesting, and the ankle lock was so sick, and
You
Like
know, after
Port-
the angle slam, everyone copied that maneuver.
oh, of course. And then after that, the ankle lock was like so simple, but it just looked so cool. Like, and he was making people tap out like Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold.
Hmm?
Sounds like somebody's at your door or something, dude. I hear people like shouting from outside and shit. am I tripping out, dude?
No, I kept hearing like the banging on something. I thought
I
it was
kept
like
hearing-
banging on a wall over there.
Yeah, or,
Maybe it's
banging
some
on-
wrestler at your door.
It sounded like it was coming from that way.
But that was really fucking loud. That sounded like it was like banging like on a house like right over here or something like that. You wouldn't be. That sounded like because it was like echoing in like in here and shit. Like it sounded like they were banging on like around the house. Like if they were like banging on like on the wall by the front door, like that's what it sounded like. Not on the front door, but like on the wall. Because if they're banging on the house, it wouldn't sound like that. Not like across the street. You wouldn't be able to hear it like that.
No, it sounded like it was a wall within the vicinity. Like, and then I heard like somebody, what the
Play
hell?
back. Let's get you rolling over here.
Yeah, well, after that, Kurt Angle, and then along with Shawn Michaels, like, he would just put on these 5-star matches, and I love the sweet shit, and it was just looked so sick. And
The
it just
super kick.
You
completely-
just like the Stevie kick, that's all.
It just those kinds of moves that you can throw in out of nowhere, like just-
RKOs.
they look so sick how you don't expect them and then they happen in an instant.
But
and you're
one
just-
thing is like Shawn Michaels' kick is the best because every time it connects, it makes that perfect slapping sound.
Oh,
He's
he
the
times
only
it so right.
It's perfect
Yeah,
every single
yeah.
time.
You can imitate it, but you can't replicate it. It's just the way it looks so on the money. And luckily, if he's wrestling the right person, they sell it so clean, and they just, oh man, they're so fucking done. But they're having such a back and forth because he's Shawn Michaels, so he's not some big beefy superhero that he's actually like, I kicked him. Oh my god, I'm done. And then he finally goes to the pin. It's like, 1, 2. Oh my god, he kicked out. I can't handle this match right now. But if we're talking current era, then I'm a fan of Dolph Ziggler because he can sell that shit like nobody else. He can also do a killer super kick.
Is that his finishing move?
Oh no, that's not it's not his finisher. But he did beat Randy Orton with it in Survivor Series, which was pretty surprising because Randy Orton is like the lapdog of the top management. But sadly, due to some injuries and first just actually speaking his mind instead of every other employee just putting their head down and wrestling a jobbing match until they get fired, just working for the paycheck. He actually cares about it. So, he says, hey, this is what's wrong, and like in some side website interview, and that's why he gets jobbed out. And it sucks, because he actually cares about what he's doing and he wants to be the best. But instead, they're pushing these part-timers, and it sucks.
I think my current favorite is Bray Wyatt. He's the best mic dude. Like even his fucking tweets are good, man. Like he's a really clever fucking speaker. What the fuck are you doing?
I have to pee so bad
So why are you walking like a hunchback?
because if I stand up straight, it'll hurt more.
You could have just told us, or like motion that you're going.
Okay.
Like a mongoloid.
All right, jeez. All right, who's your favorite wrestlers, dude?
Who is the worst wrestler?
John Cena.
Did you say yours already?
I did not. It just depends on the era. WCW, Diamond Dallas Page. He had the best intro. It was Nirvana. But the catch line was
Sort of.
self high five.
He was
And he would
worst when
reach
he
into
did
the
Ready
crowd to give
Rumble.
somebody a high five, and he'd smack his own hand like somebody gave him a high five. Best fucking promos. He got pretty good promos too. Macho Man. I basically like anybody with good mic skills. That's about it. You can cover the mic.
Yeah, I have to say Macho Man was probably my
Oh,
favorite.
if there's
old
the guy who covered like the
80s,
best,
90s.
like back in the day, that's
Yeah.
Roddy Piper. That guy was so clever.
Piper
with
was
it.
alright. Piper was okay. I can't. Piper was. He was very good. I like more of, like Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior kind of promos where they were just like
Where they're fucking
they were so intense.
about
and
to take
shit.
a protein shit because their fucking roids are running out.
Exactly.
Macho
Ultimate
Man's like
Warrior.
walking.
Might
Hey,
as
in.
well
Macho Man,
find
like right before he got on camera, it looks like he just like did a line of coke. Just,
Probably.
Macho Man, Randy Savage. It's like okay.
He does a line of coke and just like looks around his dressing room like, what kind of prop am I gonna take out?
I always like
Cup of coffee in the
cup of coffee.
Macho
in the
Man
big
always gave me
time.
the LSD like fucking idea. Like he Macho Man always made me feel like he was on like some sort of hallucinogen, like the way he was ranting and running, like with the props and all that, and the walking back and forth, looking at nothing, like the vacant, like look like I'll check over my shoulders, like I'm talking to Mean Gene, but I'm not really talking.
Like
to
when he
Mean
would talk,
Gene.
he'd always have to do the flick.
Yeah,
like
like he
that.
just seemed like he was on hallucinogens all the time. That's like what Macho Man's persona gave me. Like it wasn't the coke. Or
He had
anything.
the strangest one because when he first like came out, well, like when he was exposed, he was just like he had like the robe kind of thing, and then he had the headband with the aviators,
Yeah.
and then the little tiny shorts, like it was like a peach colored shorts with 3 white stars. And it's like, how's that macho? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. And like his hair was like still like it's been the same as it's been for like past 25 years, and like the thin beard, and then like 90s rolls around, he's like the fucking Slim Jim character, and he's got this fucking giant tassel jacket. Like when the first Monday Night Raw started airing, when he was like sort of like a commentator, he would wear the Macho Man outfit, but have like a Macho Man like tuxedo mixed in with it, so like have like a weird bow tie and shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on with this guy, dude?
It's like those kinds of characters. It seems like the writers or even the person themselves, if they have that kind of pull, is that they're so like at moving at half a mile an hour or thinking that way that it's just like, well then we could just give him tassels. I don't know. I mean he's got this Slim Jim deal, so
I'm dressed like a girl's bicycle.
so they just throw out this idea. They're like, fuck, that works. I mean, we're 30 minutes to game time, so he's got to have something.
I wish the one thing, like when they did the whole buyout thing, when they tried to do the 3 factions still.
I just got a hot or not, and for some reason my sponsored, even though I'm obviously searching for girls, I got Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I fuck you, shit you not.
Fuck you, shit, you know. Because that's what
He's on Hot or Not?
Spice Man.
He is sponsored on Hot or Not, and I'm gonna like it.
He put himself on there. You know he's just trying to get the kids.
Fucking Dwayne.
Should we wrap this one up? Unless you guys got
Yeah.
anything else wrestling.
It's been purely a wrestling episode.
Well,
I think we need to sing a special friend of ours a song.
Who's the special friend?
Marina?
Moreno.
I don't know.
What's
the
our
fuck
special
are we
song?
singing him?
I don't know. I thought that was the idea in the beginning was we were supposed to sing something to Austin.
Where did this come
Don't stand so close to me.
All I have to say is, Austin, have fun editing this, brother. I know how much you love the wrestling. I know how much you love the entertainment. So have fun editing this, brother.
If you listen this far, go fuck yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry, Austin.
You're smart.
Now that you end on that, that's the perfect ending.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause we all said so.
All right, well, thank you for joining us for the 7th episode of the Ranters. I am one of your managers, Newman Taylor. You can find me on Twitter at IceColdEskimo.
I'm the other half of the tag team of Jesus Christ and fucking Mac Cheesin.
The cheesiest cheese.
I am your spiciest hot sauce spicer, and you can find me on Twitter at Cameo Grand with a K.
Signing out, Andrew Lucero. You can find me on Twitter, SD Combusted, no spaces.
I'm the hottest SOB that doesn't give a shit what I say. I'm Joshua Stone Shepherd. You can find me at Polecats Rock anywhere.
You just looking at some
All right.
pictures?
Watch out for that Velveeta drop.
You talking about?
It's coming.
Why are you looking at pictures?
Jesus Christ versus hot sauce spicer.